one thing you have to understand, you know, before Kevin Samuels blew up, people thought that was kind of the explosion trigger of the manosphere, and I actually disagree with that sentiment. The person I believe that blew up this space, you might not agree with me, but like I said, I sometimes I think a little bit differently sometimes. In 2019, something happened. The Red Table Talk. The Red Table Talk, even though they really should rename, Jada Pinkett should really rename that Red Table Talk to the Satan Talk. Anyway, so Ayesha Curry came on the Red Table Talk and said some nonsense, which I think sparked something. I think there are certain triggers that happen which brings people to the space. Now, me personally, being on college campus, seeing that Patrice O'Neal was basically right about everything, and basically he was a walking Bible, I started searching, for answers. That's where I found guys like Steph is Cold. One of the first guys I found, Tom Likas. But obviously, the first person that brought me to this RP space in 2016 was Corey Holcomb. I've always listened to his comedy, but I never listened to his 5150 show. And the more I started getting into it, I watched all of his old shows. I watched some of the clips from when he was on Speedy's Comedy Corner, when he had his on the Speedy's comedy radio show. They had some old clips I was watching. I'm like, this guy is a freaking genius. Like, the more real life situations I started going into, especially after 18 years old, I'm like, Corey's a freaking like this dude. This is I've learned so much in 2 years, and I have like I always believe this. There's no point in learning. What's the point of going to like college for all these years? Sometimes I'm talking about for a lot of people, even if it's for something important. If you're gonna work so hard and still get finesse, whether it be by the system, whether it be through women, whether it be through the law, you know what I mean? If you can still get finessed, and obviously women are part of that, but women are usually being used by somebody else, whether it be the government, the system. This is what people got to understand, So that's what brought me to the space. And watching Corey Holcomb, that's when the YouTube algorithm started working in my favor. That's when I started finding Tom Likas, guys like that, Steph is Cold. Even though Corey Holcomb's not an RP creator per se, but he definitely brought me into the space. No doubt about that. Watching Corey Holcomb 5150 show definitely filled in a lot of blanks that people are not putting me on. They would say certain things, but not give me the full. Corey Holcomb was the person that gives you like that slap into reality. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, there are certain things like Kevin Samuels blowing up, and it brought a lot of people into the space, a lot of hope strategies, if you ask me, but still a lot of people into the space. I believe when Will Smith slapped that Chris Rock, that brought a lot of people into the space. I think there's a lot of when Kevin Samuels died, that brought a lot of people into the space. Andrew Tate, you know what I mean? Him blowing up because he blew up so fast. Like, he blew up fast. Like, I remember watching Andrew Tate like in 2019 on Rolo's show. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, and on Fresh and Fit show, I remember seeing him on like, I'm talking about the first year Fresh and Fit had that show. Like, I remember seeing him on there and just being like, wow, he's dropping knowledge. And be like, I'm talking about before. I still remember Kevin Samuels talking about Ayesha Curry before he blew up. I'm talking about like in 2019. I believe Ayesha Curry sparked the revolution, in my opinion, when she went on the Red Table Talk and said what she said about her still wanting male attention. And she has, like, her life, the way it's set up, it's literally, she has everything. And she's still complaining about wanting male attention and being jealous of her man getting female attention. And for the most part, we haven't heard Steph Curry being called out with hoes. And if he has, he's kept that on the down low and made sure everybody signed an NDA to make sure nobody finds out, because we've heard nothing about Steph Curry being caught up with hoes. I'm talking about nothing. Even with LeBron, you'll hear like something here and there. So when it comes to that situation, like, you got Steph Curry, best shooter in NBA history, probably will go down as the best point guard of all time. 6'3", he's tall, light skinned. I mean, green eyes, literally everything that you're asking for. But you're still on the talk show talking about wanting male attention. Now, when that blew up, the Instagram comments, it was interesting because men were like, are you serious? Like, what do you mean? And the women it was so many women defending her. I would say most women were defending her statements. And that was the shocker. She blew, I'm telling you, because I was already in these spaces, like just as a listener, the numbers went up after that situation. Because let me shout out to Patrice O'Neal's fans. I call them the Black Phillip disciples. They were in the comments section heavy. dropping knowledge to the normies. Because I'm talking about there were guys with blue checks that posted about this. I'm talking about these are the mainstream normie celebrities. And they were just like, wow. I remember one specifically. I'm not going to drop his name. He was like, wow, I didn't know women thought like that. I wish I could drop his name, but I'm not lying about this. He was literally like, wow, I didn't know. I was in the comment section heavy too. People thought I was on. People thought I was dropping knowledge anyway. Because I remember when Ayesha Curry went viral with that, I remember it was like, I think Monday or Tuesday. And I'm like, man, 5150 show finna be epic. But Corey Holcomb dropped all the knowledge about that on Zoe Williams' show and on the Mansion series. And I was like, yeah, we about to get Snack King about to go in. But to the people that have been in these spaces that know about the RP, we knew what Ayesha Curry's like. Her saying that didn't even surprise us. Like we already knew. We already know. If you've been in these spaces, you already know what it's like for most ladies. They have to be in the streets. they want to be in the streets so bad. They can't, so they hide it, but they can't hide it forever. And then until they go out in the streets and realize nobody really wants them like that, even no matter how good their situation is, they're gonna want to be in the streets. No matter, they have to be there to realize I ain't really worth shit in the grand scheme of things, and let me settle down and find somebody that cares for me. We already knew this, but most other normies did not know this. But unfortunately, when Ayesha Curry did, when she revealed her true intentions, the ladies should have been like, we rebuke her. She ain't one of us. But they didn't. They defended her and was calling men insecure and shit. That, I think that was the beginning, in my opinion. Not Kevin Samuels blowing up, calling the girl average at best. I don't think so. Then I believe the numbers started spiking after that incident with Ayesha Curry going on the red table. And, you know, even more things that happened on the red table, you know, Jada bringing Will Smith, the August Alsina incident. I swear the red table, shout out, hey, maybe if it wasn't for, I believe the red table talk has contributed to the red pill. And I want to show you something. I believe there's a name to this that most women, especially in America, suffer from. And it's called, and I'm going to call it the Ayesha disease, the Ayesha curse. Maybe I should call it that, the Ayesha curse. Because I thought Steph Curry wasn't even going to win another championship after she pulled that bullshit. So, I'm going to show another woman who's suffering from the Ayesha curse. I'm going to show you something, man. I'm going to show you something. Because they all suffer from it. I don't care how loyal, they all suffer from it, especially in America. So here we have this plus model, this Asian curve model. Allegedly she's Korean. This is her walking, and the caption at first it says, "I'm not into large Asian women." You know, a scenario that she made up in her head. It's probably one person in the comment section that probably said that. One person, you know. But let's see what it says.
Okay, it's fair enough. What are you into? Transformers? Pokemon? You fucking child?
So more shaming language, you know, basically in her mind, I guess the imaginary demons, you know, are saying, I'm not into large Asian women. And she's complaining about that. Now, mind you, this is where Ayesha's disease come in. This woman is married. Let me repeat that. She is married to a simp, obviously, and she has a kid by the simp. And she's still complaining about, that, because it's really, there's plenty of ninjas, I bet you, that be in her DMs that will want to smash. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of athletes that try to slide through, but that's not what she's looking for. She wants that 2% Chad to find her attractive, even though she's already married. That's what she's complaining about. When you hear people say, "Oh, why don't they like fat women?" and blah blah blah, that like the whole body positivity movement is probably one of the biggest scams outside of this feminism, you know, Black Lives Matter and you know, the poke, all of that stuff. That's one of the biggest shams out there. Body positivity movement was just a way for fat women to shame top percent men into liking them, because there have been plenty of regular dudes that would give them a shot, but that's not what they're looking for. They want to be treated like the 10s, even though they're not. That's all the body positivity movement is. And she's a pure example of it. And she's married and she has a kid. The love from her husband is not enough. She needs the streets. And now I'm pretty sure she gets plenty of streets attention. I'm looking at the tattoos and all that stuff. She gets attention from the streets. Now she wants to level up, you know, Sierra style. and she's still monkey branching. And attitudes like this is what has sparked the interest in this space, because eventually a man is going to be like, damn, it's like what I'm providing, what I'm doing, all that stuff, going to therapy, doing things your way is never going to be enough, guys. If you're trying to live your life, trying to please these people, or for them to apologize for not treating you a certain way, you're waiting for something that does not exist. And this is the importance of a space like this. I'm going to tell you this. I would say 85 to 90% of American women that were raised in America suffer from this disease. I'm going to call it the Ayesha curse. They suffer from Ayesha's curse. That's what I'm just going to call it. I call it a little bit something else, but I'm just going to call it Ayesha's curse. And Ayesha, I believe, is one of the capitalists. I believe she was did I say capitalist or the catalyst? I believe she was the catalyst of this space growing the way it was. And I believe it started with her comments in 2019. This is what I believe. I could be wrong. But when people talk about, Kevin Samuels being the godfather of this and, the beginning of that, which is actually completely false. Technically, it was the MGTOW creators that put themselves out there. They really put themselves out there and took all the hits, the MRAs before them, but that was a little bit something. It was something a little bit different because they actually had some women on their side, which was mostly, their second wives, you know what I mean, that were realizing that their first wives was literally financially draining them. But I believe in this reoccurrence of spaces like this growing, and then they're going to find a way to shut this space down again, obviously in the future with social credit scores and all that. I believe Ayesha Curry is the catalyst of this space growing. That is my opinion.